Hello, World Wide Web. Welcome back to the Hangin With Web Show. I'm GW Pomature. Thanks for logging on and tuning in. If you haven't done it yet, please go on down and hit subscribe. We'll wait. Now's good. And come back and see a great bunch of artists, entertainers, artisans, you name it. It's a creative buffet here at the Renaissance Fair in Brevard County, Florida. We are at Wickham Park in Melbourne, Florida, and we are hanging with the Kindred Kilts.
Hey!
Yeah! We're here with Brenda and Charlie Quisenberry and Larry Fitch. I was going to screw something up.
That's all right.
The easy one.
That was the kindest variation on my name I usually hear.
It's the web. They know that.
There you go.
They know that. And okay, and these you guys are musicians.
We are musicians.
And we've got some great shots that we'll put up later in the interview of you guys performing over there, which is fantastic. Let's kind of rewind. How did you guys get together? How did this start?
Well,
boy.
Here we go. The reason for the name, which is actually Brenda's idea, Kindred Kilts, is we actually are kindred in that that's my brother Larry, this is my wife, and me. So we really are not only kindred spirits, but kindred in musicianship and all that. And so the kilts is our signature thing that we wear, and actually we have our new sponsor, which is Highland Kilts. So now when we perform, we wear Highland Kilts.
Big shout out to Highland Kilts. These guys are doing a fantastic job representing. And now, why Ren Fairs? What drew you guys in?
I think the venue works for us. We do traditional Irish pub music and good drinking IRA fighting songs, and so we're a little unique in that. And so the Ren Fair, this is our home fair. Larry, you live in Melbourne.
I do too. Yes.
And we live in Vero Beach.
Awesome.
And so this is our way of also helping to give back to the community, because this is all about the arts and supporting the arts for kids in Brevard County.
Yes.
And that's very important to us. So this is our way of helping our local community, even though we live in Brevard County. And it's been great. I mean, you meet great people. The management here has been excellent. The media coverage is spectacular. I mean, absolutely spectacular.
Really?
Yes, it is. And so, okay, how long have you guys been working in performing as an act?
Well, so as the Kindred Kilts, this is the beginning of our second year together as musicians. We all have a musical background. I played in rock and roll bands when I was younger. Charlie played with a traditional maritime kind of pirate group called the Salty Dogs, up in the Baltimore, Maryland area. Brenda's been musical and theatrical all her life. She was actually on the very first season of The Amazing Race as one of the contestants.
Awesome.
So, and when we all kind of got together, and it's actually, I always like to tell this story because my brother said to me, hey, I want to play Irish music with you, and then we'll play and we'll wear kilts. And I said, okay, first of all, Irish music, I'm not so sure. Kilts, never going to happen. And I love it, and yeah, I actually just got my sixth kilt today.
So never say never.
Yeah, so never
say never.
I brought him over to the dark side.
Now, well, look, as fellow Army guys, I thought it was our assumption that the Navy was in kilts anyways, or skirts. One or the other. What is that?
Well, I will tell you a true story. When Larry was younger, our father was in the 82nd Airborne, and I ended up going to the 82nd Airborne. My smarter younger brother said, I'm not jumping out of airplanes. So I'm going to go out on a boat that sinks on purpose. So
I was going to say, my dad told me. My dad was a navalman, and he told me that the saying in the Navy is they're only ever 1 mile from land, even if it's straight down.
Well, there you go.
Exactly. He decided to go. Now Larry spent 9 years in the submarine service.
So you were closer.
Exactly.
Much closer to land.
Well, we like to say that some ships sink on purpose, other requires our assistance.
So, now, have you guys been fans of Ren Fairs?
We have. I think this is relatively new.
They certainly, they were very much when they were.
So it's Irish music never going to happen.
Right.
Kilts, oh no. Ren Fair's not going to happen.
Not my thing.
And here we are.
Yeah, and it's just been a hoot. We have a great time. Everything that Charlie says is true, and as new musicians, I think probably the best spirit of the Ren Fairs is when you deal with the other performers and the other professionals that this is what they do. I mean, they go from fair to fair to fair and they perform all year long. When we came in as kind of the new kids, we were treated warmly, we were accepted, everybody was gracious, everybody was wonderful.
Yeah, it is the entirety of the arts and entertainment community is so embracing, so warm. I tell people all the time, this is the only industry you can be in where your competitors aren't.
Yes.
They want you to succeed.
Right.
They want you to come in and perform and be great. And
we just had that impromptu little rehearsal. We're doing pub sing. We host the pub sing, and there's different acts that come on. And we were meeting with one of the jackdaws and said, rather than all of us doing something separate, do you want to do something together that'd be kind of unique? And literally, what was that? A 5-minute rehearsal?
And we're good.
Irish Renaissance Jam.
There
Exactly.
you go. I like it.
Awesome.
I mean, how cool is that?
That is fantastic. That is what it's like to be an entertainer and an artist.
Yes.
And to just kind of jam with everybody. What would you say now? You're new to the Ren Fair. This is a great question for you. What's the most memorable experience that you've had now joining the Ren Fair community?
So last year, our very, very first Ren Fair that we did was actually the Fort Myers Kiwanis Ren Fair in the other coast. And Charlie and I went, and the first day of the fair, it was great. It was kind of cold. That night, tornadoes came through. And just basically, they wouldn't let the fair open the next day.
Oh, wow.
So it was kind of like, okay, what do we do? But everybody still wanted to perform. Everybody still wanted to be there. So for my first thing of, where you go to something and it's like, well, I can't do something. Okay, well, that's fine. I'm just going to go home. These people were, well, what can we do? They were actually phoning children's hospitals and the VA hospital and different places to find out, we've got all this cast and all these performers. Can we just go perform for somebody? It was just absolutely incredible.
That's amazing.
No charge. We're here anyway. We want to do our part.
Right.
And if that doesn't warm your heart, I don't know what
No
does.
doubt. That's fantastic. This is what we do. Whether we're doing the show, whether you guys are performing on stage, from home writing, we do it because we love it. Someone told me years ago, the most successful person in the world is the person that finds what they love to do, finds somebody to pay them to do it.
There you go.
Because you would do it anyway.
Yeah,
exactly.
Oh, yeah.
And
that's always our
we've
philosophy.
Actually done it just anyway,
That's
right?
right.
I think we are honestly,
Hey,
if there
we're artists.
Sure.
We do it every day.
But honestly, if there's 3 people that'll stop and listen to us playing on a street corner, we'll play for them.
Awesome.
It's not well, it has to be this condition or that thing or this thing or it's just not for us.
Yeah.
We'll play for anybody that'll stop and listen.
As Arlo Guthrie said, I'm not tired nor proud.
So let's just keep working. Well, we love to ask our musicians this question because you perform so much music and you put so much of your own talent out there. But we all have that one annoying song that gets stuck in our head.
Go ahead, Larry.
Anything with a banjo.
Anything. It's there, and it's there all day, no matter what you do.
Well, so it's just a big running joke with us. So my brother plays the guitar, but he also plays the banjo, and I'm not as embraced of the banjo as other folks are, I guess I should say. So when he says, "Oh, I'm going to pull out the banjo and play this song," a little piece of me dies inside. But there are songs that it's always earworms, right? So any of the songs, and I think that I know for myself, and now by proxy, my wife, who's also another, I don't believe you're doing this, there's no way. She's even now walking around the house constantly. All of her earworms are Irish songs. And I wake up, I go to bed, the middle of the night I roll over. Those songs are always going through your head.
So, as a matter of recreational listening, you're driving into the Ren Fair, and you're getting ready to come in here, and what is on the radio?
Brenda.
Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne. All right. Shout out to Lil Wayne out there, okay?
And Rush.
Rush.
Yeah.
Okay,
All-time
fantastic.
favorite band.
We had the good fortune last year, one of our first conventions, to interview Kevin J. Anderson as he was releasing his next anthology, which is an anthology of short stories that are all inspired by the music of Rush.
Wow. So Geddy Lee is the reason I became a bass player.
Awesome. See that? It's a circle, folks. It's a circle. This is what we do. And what's on the car for you when you're driving around?
He only listens to Irish music.
I got Rush, I got Lil Wayne, and I got...
My wife will tell you that my husband likes, how many?
12 songs.
12 songs.
And they're all Irish
And
songs.
it's not true. I like...
14, 15 maybe.
15.
Yeah.
I grew up with John Denver, so for me it was an easier transition.
It
so
is.
Brenda's the blues fan. Her
I like it all.
musical tastes are much more eclectic.
Uh-huh.
Mine are not
Narrow.
quite as they're not narrow. Just because I was going like this, I was trying to make the E for less eclectic.
Even less eclectic.
But to your point about songs, there's as my brother when he introduces a song, if you play rock and roll music, you have to play Freebird, you have to play Stairway to Heaven. It's required. Or if you're a Southern rock cover band, you're playing Marshall Tucker. If you play in an Irish band and you play Irish music to an audience that likes that sort of thing, you are required to play Whiskey in the Jar. It is a standard, and we've gotten to the point now where it's almost muscle memory. But
you just kind of do it, yeah.
every time where people will go, Freebird, we get Whiskey in the Jar. And so we've actually tried not to play it, and we get asked for it anyway, which is fine.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you give people what they want.
We
but,
love them all.
Yeah, we do. But if we don't have to,
Okay, well, we were walking around the vendors areas earlier today, and we were noticing that Ren Fairs is eclectic music, eclectic everything.
Absolutely.
Favorite Ren Fair fare? Favorite Ren Fair food? What do you, when you come in here, you just have to have?
To eat?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, well, you know, the stereotype is the turkey leg, which, not to take anything away from them, I'm not a big fan of, because that's just a lot of turkey meat.
Yeah.
Here I will tell you the things that I've enjoyed are just some of the local vendors that they brought in from town.
Uh-huh.
So Island's Fish Grill has a booth here.
Fantastic, yeah, I saw that.
Fantastic stuff. Shepherd's pie last week
I
was
had the
really
cabbage,
good.
corned beef and cabbage yesterday. It was delicious.
Yeah.
Living the Irish dream.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
so
the American Irish dream, anyway.
they say I'm the caricature. And
Exactly. But they're-
You know.
and again, what these guys have done well here, it's all good. It's like they haven't brought in anybody that's kind of sits off to the side like the redheaded stepchild. You know what I mean? That nobody wants to visit or hang out with.
Visited, the stages are placed all around.
Exactly.
You can be entertained while you move.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And all
It's
the
fantastic.
food is good. All the vendors are good. And what I also like, and having been to other fairs where they have vendors, when you come to a Renaissance fair, it's not really the place where I want to see a vendor selling like stun guns. Or cosmetics,
Yeah.
right? So here they keep it very period, they keep it very true, they keep it very authentic to the flavor of the fair.
Yeah, and this, like I said, it's been amazing to walk around. Where are you guys going to be next?
So we're here again next weekend.
Awesome.
And then
For those of you watching this through the week, we're going to try to post these out before.
Oh, perfect.
the next-
Oh.
So get over to Wickham Park in Melbourne, Florida, if you haven't been here already, and check out the Ren Fair next weekend as well. It's their last weekend this year,
Right.
and you'll be able to see the Kindred Kilts.
And the Sunday after that, we will be at Shindig's Irish Pub in Port St. Lucie.
Outstanding.
On the 25th, we will be at the Cocoa Beach Seafood Festival at Alan Shepherd Park, where we'll
Awesome.
be doing the other side of what we do, which is
We'll be dressed like pirates.
we're dressed like pirates and we do the maritime sea shanty kind of music.
Wow, that's
So
great.
that's sort of the other half of what we do. And if I can plug it,
Absolutely.
you can go to our website, kindredkilts.com, www.kindredkilts.com.
And for everybody out there on the World Wide Web, we're going to put those links down below, so make sure you read the description and click on over
And on our website, there is a link to our calendar of events page that lists all of our upcoming shows. It's kind of, for us, it's the St. Patrick's Day season is upon us.
Indeed.
What we like to call the High Holy Days for us. So we have a lot of shows and a lot of events coming up through the end of March right now that are already on the calendar, but we're always available should somebody want to call us. And then after that, our next steps after that will be to be going into the studio and actually creating our first CD.
Oh man, that's fantastic. And you can check those things out. We're going to put all of their links down below so you can find out where they're going to be, when they're going to be there. As we wrap it up, we're going to roll for you some of the footage of these guys performing out there at the fair. And while that rolls, I'm going to say a special thanks to Something Unique Magazine, the Florida Book News, Wordfire Press, Space Coast Comics, Famous Faces and Funnies, the Historical Miniature Gaming Society South, and the Brevard Renaissance Fair for letting us come in here and interview some fantastic entertainers, artists, artisans of all kinds. I'm GW Pomacher. We've been hanging with the Kindred Kilts, Brenda and Charlie Quisenberry, and Larry Fitch. Remember, guys, subscribe, log on, tune in, see who we're hanging with next.
Hands come out and fight me like a man. Show you why so you won medals down in Flanders. Tell them how the IRA made you run like hell away from the green and lovely lanes of Villasham.